Of Max Verstappen's 4 victories this season, the Chinese Grand Prix stood out as his most dominant performance. This win showcased a huge statement from Max. Verstappen's track record speaks for itself. He's clinched victory in 11 out of his last 12 races, and an astonishing 21 out of the last 23 overall. It's a level of dominance that leaves his competitors in the dust, including his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez. But does this mean it's game over for the rest of the field? Let's find out. Formula One returned to China in 2024, marking the end of a hiatus since 2019. In the 5-year gap, power dynamics have shifted dramatically. The once dominant Mercedes era led by Lewis Hamilton now feels like a distant memory, making way for the reign of Max Verstappen and Red Bull. In previous years, Max Verstappen struggled to clinch victory in Shanghai because he had a car that couldn't keep up with the competition. However, with Red Bull's current supremacy, his win seemed inevitable. Despite challenges posed by 2 safety car periods, Verstappen's lead remained formidable, crossing the finish line 13.7 seconds ahead of Lando Norris from McLaren, with teammate Sergio Perez securing 3rd place. Verstappen's performance was nothing short of commanding. Max Verstappen was only denied a 100% point-scoring weekend when Fernando Alonso picked up the bonus for the fastest lap around a 5.451-kilometer track on the outskirts of the Chinese megacity after a late switch to fresh tyres. Verstappen's victory in China adds to his impressive tally for the season, positioning him as a formidable contender for his 4th consecutive world title. Verstappen, however, remained characteristically modest about his achievement, simply stating, "It was a good one, yeah." His team boss, Christian Horner, summed it up perfectly when he said Verstappen is driving on another planet, highlighting his exceptional talent and skill. And yes, Max Verstappen was on another planet. Verstappen's triumph at the Chinese Grand Prix showcased a level of dominance rarely seen before. Even though he's had bigger victories before, this one was extra impressive. It was like he owned the whole weekend, from the sprint race until the end. No one outside the top 3 had ever won a sprint race before, and he did it by a huge 13-second lead. People thought maybe Fernando Alonso's defensive moves helped him win, but on Sunday, Verstappen showed he was just plain faster. At the start of the race, Verstappen quickly pulled ahead, while Perez struggled to pass Alonso. Even after Perez got past, Verstappen kept widening the gap. In just 8 laps, he was 4.6 seconds ahead, which is a lot of racing. He was going almost half a second faster per lap than Perez. Even when Lando Norris tried to catch up later in the race, Verstappen stayed ahead. In the next 25 laps, he stretched his lead to 13.7 seconds. Norris couldn't match his pace. Perez, on the other hand, couldn't gain on Norris either. In the end, Verstappen's win showed how good he is. He left everyone else far behind, proving he's one of the best in the sport. Yet, as Verstappen continues to rewrite the history books with his unprecedented run of victories, some voices in the F1 community are beginning to question the excitement of his reign. Lando Norris, while acknowledging Verstappen's talent, raised concerns about the excitement levels in Formula One when one driver keeps winning. Norris stated, "If you see the same driver winning every single time without a fight, then of course it does start to become boring." Regardless of the debate surrounding his dominance, Verstappen's achievements speak for themselves. With each race, he cements his status as not only a Formula One legend, but arguably one of the greatest athletes of our time. And it's not just Verstappen who's dominating. His team Red Bull now sits a whopping 44 points ahead of Ferrari in the constructors' standings. Ferrari, once seen as the primary challenger to Red Bull's supremacy following their impressive 1-2 finish in Australia, found themselves struggling to keep pace in China. Despite their strong start to the season, the Italian team faltered in Shanghai, failing to capitalize on their early success. The Shanghai International Circuit presented an opportunity for Ferrari to capitalize on Red Bull's potential vulnerability. Cooler weather and concerns about tyre wear suggested that Red Bull might not have it easy, especially with the unique sprint race format leaving teams with minimal practice time to fine-tune their setups. Many speculated that Ferrari could capitalize on these factors to secure a surprise victory. However, hopes were dashed as Ferrari faced setbacks right from qualifying, with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz securing 6th and 7th positions respectively. Their troubles continued into the race as both drivers slipped further down the grid at the start. Despite their valiant efforts to regain lost ground and surpass competitors like George Russell's Mercedes and Oscar Piastri's McLaren, Ferrari could only manage 4th and 5th positions. Reflecting on the disappointing outcome, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur attributed their struggles to a series of collective missteps. Fred Vasseur stated, "I think it is really a matter of not putting everything together. We didn't have a clean weekend from our side, which meant collectively too many mistakes, and we know that in this group of teams behind Red Bull, if you don't do the perfect job, you won't be in front." Since the beginning of the season, Ferrari has shown skill in managing their tyres well, allowing Leclerc and Sainz to execute a one-stop strategy at the Chinese Grand Prix. In contrast, Red Bull opted for a more aggressive two-step strategy with Verstappen and Perez, aiming for faster lap times. However, the dynamic shifted when a safety car period altered the course of the race, leveling the playing field for both teams. Ferrari's pit stop under the safety car saw both drivers switch to the hard compound tyre. However, this decision unexpectedly led to a loss of relative performance compared to their competitors. As a result, Leclerc relinquished 3rd place to Perez, hindering his pursuit of Norris. For the first time this year, Vasseur admitted his Ferrari team had underachieved, given the car's potential. Vasseur stated, "It's more a matter of extracting the best of what we had. Honestly, if we are speaking about development first as a team, we have to get the best from what we have, and we didn't do the job together on this." As the Formula One season progresses, Ferrari gears up for its first significant upgrade at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola. While teams often downplay future updates, Carlos Sainz acknowledged the importance of the upcoming upgrade, emphasizing its potential to narrow the gap to the frontrunners. Sainz expressed optimism about the upgrade's impact, stating, "That's the plan, but let's see if it works like that." He highlighted the significance of challenging Red Bull's dominance, acknowledging the need to make their championship bid more competitive. He added, "If not, they are walking off with many wins this season." Indeed, Ferrari didn't pose the anticipated challenge to Red Bull's dominance, contrary to predictions. The prevailing belief was that the current cars, coupled with the newly resurfaced asphalt, minimized the front-end grip limitations that previously favored Ferrari. Consequently, linking Ferrari to a potential victory challenge at the Chinese circuit proved to be wishful thinking. Verstappen, on the other hand, encountered minimal opposition throughout the weekend, showcasing unparalleled control over the competition. Even starting from 4th on the grid in the sprint race failed to hinder him. Leading from pole position in the main event allowed him to maintain his position at the forefront of the pack effortlessly. Amidst the absence of the Ferraris, it was Lando Norris of McLaren who emerged as a standout performer in China, securing a commendable 2nd place behind Verstappen. While still in pursuit of his maiden Formula One victory, Norris continues to captivate with his stellar performances, showcasing his talent on the track. Reflecting on his achievement, Norris stated, "Whenever I finish behind Max, I feel like it's a win." His sentiments echoed the joy shared by his team McLaren as they celebrated an unexpectedly successful weekend. Norris's pole lap during Friday's qualifying session for the sprint race set the stage for his remarkable podium finish on Sunday. The cooler weather conditions in China seemed to favor McLaren's performance, allowing Norris to extract the full potential of his car. His ability to optimize tire temperature during the wet sprint qualifying session highlighted McLaren's competitive edge. Although he faced challenges during the sprint race itself, losing positions at the start and encountering traffic, Norris capitalized on the favorable conditions on Sunday to execute a flawless race. "Being able to control things on my own was key," Norris elaborated, shedding light on his strategic edge. "I managed to break away from Charles Leclerc quite quickly, then Charles was holding up Checo Perez a lot." What are your thoughts on the Chinese GP? Has the game ended for the rest of the pack, or can Red Bull still be challenged?